going, he says. Keep going, keep going. Well, maybe this time.
21.
Impressive percentage already for Williams. He's going to take some stopping if he can maintain 95%.
Oh, he's too hard this time. But he's on the other red.
25. $26.
And finally got there.
31. $32.
Needs a little bit of an angle for that red directly above the black. That's enough. And this time deliberately left it short so it could bring more reds into play.
39.
Should be able to open the reds out. Played it with left-hand side on the cue ball, and that's a good kiss. Leaves him straight on the blue to the corner, and a great chance to hit straight back.
$45. $46.
Those four reds surrounding the pink. Not in the best of places. But he'd only need these two loose reds to leave Slessor needing snookers, so he doesn't need to give them any attention just yet.
53.
Has the angle on the black to screw back for that last loose red. And that's all he'd need. Thinking of taking it to the left middle. And that's not the best positional shot. He played for it to the left middle.
60.
Now the red will pass the green, but it's a lot more difficult. Maybe play the cue ball onto the cushion in case he misses it.
Frame ball.
And that's exactly what he did. Played that cue ball to the cushion to give himself some insurance. One snooker needed. Still one snooker needed.
Mark Williams, 61.
Another very fluent contribution from Williams. He's cueing well again, but not quite decisive. Just the one snooker required.
kiss on the brown. Has left a chance at this red. He's also pushed the black closer to the cushion, which makes things a lot more difficult for Elliot.
If this disappears, it's going to be 3 snookers needed.
Well, I'm surprised he's not taking it on. He's thinking of not playing it. Well, has he miscounted?
As things stand, Slessor needs 1 snooker. This red would surely seal the frame in Williams' favour.
Well, if he doesn't take it on, then he leaves it. If he plays the safety, he's playing the safety. Now, why would he move the red away from the pink when it's safe? It doesn't matter. It's in. Although it was in a good place for snookers.
So Elliot Slessor needs 3 snookers. He's in a snooker. And I think he's just nodded to referee Leo Scullion. He has. So Mark Williams is looking very good once again, as he's done throughout this tournament here in Belfast. And he's taken a very handy 3-1 interval lead. Breaks of 127 and 61 just now. Williams 3-1 up.
Absolutely, that is the story so far. We're just 4
little bit stupid. So what we mean underarm shot? It don't make any sense to me to start.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to anyone but Mark Williams.
Right. Just went, I think, to grab a wee cup of tea before he goes back out. And here's the stats from the first 4 frames. Well, definitely well outscored. Mark Williams has been putting just about everything in front of him. 94% putt success.
Yeah, that's going to win a lot of matches. You know, we saw, I think, one match where John Higgins had 95% and lost earlier in the week, but that's most unusual. You know, Mark is playing as well as he has all week, you know, and the further he goes into a tournament, the better he plays.
This long putt success, the 78%, I think it's 8 out of 11, possibly. Matt says 7 out of 9. There you go.
Yeah, 7 out of 9. You know, that's really consistent, and Elliot is way down there on 40%. You can't do that with Mark Williams, because the only real shots you're going to get, because Mark Williams won't miss any easy balls, is when you win a safety battle and you get a long pot. You've got to knock them in. OK, well, listen, Cecil, who owns a jam pot in the Donegal Road, gave me a copy of Jimmy White's Pot Black magazine cover, which includes an interview with you from back in 1985. Dennis Taylor had just won that famous World Final against Steve Davis. A couple of answers jump out at me, Jimmy, which I think are quite interesting. Now, bear in mind, these answers are old. These answers are 32 years old. Wow.
What are your experiences of snooker groupies? Your answer was, well, there are a few that hang around, but thank goodness they're all out looking for Tony Knowles.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, and then there's another one here, which is, because this was, obviously, we were a bit naive back then. Are there any drugs in snooker at all? And Jimmy's answer was, I don't know. I only know what I read in the newspapers. Nothing but the truth in Pot Black. But, you know, this is a guy that runs a jam pot in Belfast. Gave me this. Cecil, thank you very much. When we come to do this tournament, you must walk about and just all these memories.
Listen, I love Belfast. I won my first tournament here in the King's Hall, and there's a lot of dedicated stuff to Alex Higgins in this city. Snooker fans come from all over the world to have a look, and the Jam Pot was a great snooker club, and this tournament, the trophy's named after the great Higgins.
Yeah, absolutely. And nowadays, of course, you know, sadly, of course, but on the Sandy Row, you go up, you see the mural that's there of Alex Higgins as well. So it's just the people who live in breathe snooker still worship him as much now as ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I should say, I just got to show you this picture if I can, just to Jimmy. You got to see this. This is often underrated, just how dazzlingly handsome this man was.
What do you
back
mean
in the
was?
day. And now
I have Botox nowadays.
Well, listen, I don't know what age you were.
Well, I've not had it yet.
I don't know what age you were back then, but Elliot Slessor's in his flush of youth, so he's, you know, in his youth against experience out there. At the moment, experience is winning the day. So we'll get back to our boys in the commentary box, Joe and Phil, who'll see us through to the end of this. Jimmy, about this answer.
Yes, have a look.
Nothing like taking a stroll down memory lane, is there?
5. Mark Williams to be.
Even you were young back then, Joe.
No, you're kidding.
Well, Williams has looked very good again, hasn't he? He's scoring heavily when he gets the chance. His safety is excellent, just as it was in the quarter-final against Mike Dunn.
Yes, his long potting has been superb as well. And that's a real strength of his game. Won the last frame with a good long pot. None better than that, though.
1.
It needs to pull up. It needs to pull up. Can he see the brown? That kind of shot deserves to win the frame. Looks like he can see enough of the brown. Could have done without the kiss.
5.
Now he's going to have to come down and try and get back up for the blue. Looking at the pink in the middle.
Six.
Now needs to get top side of the blue this time round to be able to open the reds up.
11.
Well, he could have played it with top spin and tried to get top side of the blue. He preferred to screw into the reds and caught them a little bit too thick. Had he caught them thinner, cue ball would have gone down towards the blue and the baulk colours, but just the safety now.
Elliot Slessor, 12.
What a nice little rub on the green there.
Elliot Slessor was busy pouring himself some water there. I think he missed that kiss. So when he comes back to the table, he won't like what he sees.
Well, if he is snookered, it shouldn't be much of a problem coming off the right side cushion, landed up into the reds. He's a little low, though. Any harder, and he'd have left the red to the left corner. In fact, he may have left the red.
One. Mark Williams, 1.
Yes, that's what the danger was, making contact with the pink. And I think he's been very fortunate there, Mark Williams, not to have left a red on. Or maybe just skim off the red nearest the blue. Try and get the cue ball in behind the green. Well, that's what he played. A little thinner, maybe.
1. Elbow. Elliot Slessor, 1.
Just caught it a little thick. Otherwise the cue ball would have been closer to the cushion. But now both players got to be very careful with the reds situated like they are. Great pot and great kiss. He raises his hand for the kiss, but, well, I think the black will spot, which takes it out of commission. Well, that's a great pot, but look at those 2 kisses.
8. Yeah. Nine.
Not hard enough for the red he played for.
14.
Played for the red into the right centre. I don't think the blue passes the pink. So that poor positional shot last time round from blue to red looks like it may have cost him this break.
Elliot
Now
Slessor,
pushing the
50.
blue into a safe position. So black and blue tied up. And that's a poor safety. A little fortunate that the red may be straight. But if Williams could get to the pink, get the pink back on its spot.
One.
Maybe a chance of bringing the yellow and blue into play, but he's just rolling up behind the brown.
Mark Williams.
Played it well.
He's always been exceptionally good at that delicate roll-up to a bought colour.
And that's the danger with playing that two-cushion escape. Now, will he survive? Williams wants to get the pink back onto its spot. And if he could leave the cue ball somewhere around about the blue spot area. Tried to go down. It looked a natural just to stun up towards the blue and being a left-handed play.
Feel that Slessor now has to win. It's another scrappy one. He's already had a decent chance. He's been given a second one unexpectedly.
One.
Well, can you see the pink?
Seven.
It was always on that far angle. So another chance for Mark Williams, and he's absolutely foaming with himself.
Yeah, he knows the significance of this frame. It's another good chance that's come and gone for very little.
One.
Nice little rub on the pink. So if you can take another couple of pinks here, you could leave a good snooker behind that red by the black if he doesn't get the angle to move it. He's close.
$15.
'Well, maybe barely just touched the black. Try and cut off the black cushion.
Mark Williams, 15.
Well, hasn't managed to do that, and it was easy enough to do, to cut off the black cushion. Didn't want the kiss on the pink. Now he might try and bring the yellow into play. The shot. Oh, he's overcut it by a long way. Unfortunately, he missed the yellow.
This by far the scrappiest frame of the semi-final to date. It's become a bit of a comedy of errors. 17 Slessor's lead. Such a big frame, isn't it? The difference between just one and a very commanding 3-frame cushion for Williams.
Elliot Slessor, 4.
Well, he's got second prize. The red has run safe. Oh, that could be in deep trouble next time round. With the cue ball in behind the black. And the red behind the green and brown. Well, he's got the second part of the shot. Oh, it could be in deep trouble next time round. Oh, I don't think he's got the snooker. Has he left it?
Yeah.
It's exceptionally tight, isn't it?
Thanks, Mark.
Well, for a right-handed player, he could just reach over and drop this in. Play the snooker behind the blue next time round. But he's going to need the spider. And it's a lot tougher with the spider. Not risking it. Trying to get the cue ball in behind the black.
No snooker, but the full 12 feet. been a somewhat ugly frame, this one, but it's oh so important. He won't want that one back.
No, he played a dangerous shot there because the cue ball was always going close to that corner. A chance of the pot here into the yellow pocket with some element of safety. And if it goes in, he only needs the black. Or the pink. That was an excellent pot. So just the pink needed. Williams will need a snooker. Oh, he's missed it.
Elliot Slessor won.
Well, how important will that error prove to be? It was a pretty routine pink to make it 3-2. As it is, 22 the lead. So he needs the yellow and the green now. Should have got that one. He knows it. And then pots a far more difficult yellow, and he's on the green that he needs for the frame.
Yeah, he was fortunate to have got the snooker after missing the pink. He was fortunate to have got the snooker.
5.
Williams left the yellow on. And it's going to be 3-2.
Well, not a frame that's going to live long in the memory for its quality, but an absolutely crucial one for the underdog Elliot Slessor. Had he lost it, a long, long way back. But he's won it.
14.
And now he's just one behind. And right back in the match again.
Elliot Slessor, 14.
Scrappy in the extreme, the longest frame of the semi-final so far at a shade over 26 minutes. But it's gone the way of Elliot Slessor, who closes the gap once again to a single frame at 3-2.
Thank you. Frame 6. Elliot Slessor to break.
So Elliot Slessor manages to win the 5th frame. Lots of errors on both sides in that one, but crucially it's gone the way of Slessor. Not the best of break-offs though, to put it mildly.
Yeah, just when he needed a good break-off, he plays a poor one.
But Williams hasn't been quite the same player since the interval.
No, he hasn't, and I've noticed that he's not been as confident round the table. This wasn't difficult, but missed it by, oh, long way. And Elliot will get some confidence from miss. Now could play off the reds and open them up. Play a safety, but playing off the loose red, keeping it tight. Anxious looks there from Mark Williams to see if he can see this red. Not quite.
The scrappier the semi-final becomes, the happier Elliot Slessor will be. It's Williams who's got the firepower. He's the man capable of the big breaks. The last thing the Welshman wants to do is go into his shell here, because that will encourage this man.
Well, again, caught them too thick and leaves Mark Williams with a good chance.
One.
Could have done without the kiss, but he's on the yellow. Now he could go into the reds from this yellow. I'll play for that loose one to the right corner.
Three. Four.
Well, got the angle on the black to go into them. Not an easy pack to go into. Well, has a red to the middle, but very dangerous to take it on. He'd be leaving the other red on if he missed it. This has to go in. That's a good recovery shot. Put a lot of pressure on that one. Played for the red at the back of the pack, but always knew he was going to be on this red to the middle. Oh, good cueing though.
20.
Now, will he go into them? It's a nice gap there between the pink and the reds. If you could miss the pink on the right. And they've split beautifully.
25. $26.
Under hit that one. But it was awkward queuing. Now, does he leave himself a long pot or try and get round the table in and out of balk? Lots of topspin on the cue ball. He could just stun the blue in and leave a fairly straight red to the right corner.
$51. $52.
And this time the right side of the blue. That was a good recovery shot. Now just needs to drop it in dead weight. That red below the pink spot, to the right of the pink spot. Well, not really slow enough, so may have to play back up for the blue again. Wanted to be straight on that red, but nothing wrong with that. He's the right side of the blue. And ball's queuing up to be potted into the left corner.
$43. $44.
It was a poor safety shot from Slessor. Caught the reds too thick. It was a bad break-off, which he escaped from. Didn't cost him. But it's looking like that second mistake will cost him. Should cost him.
52.
Yes, and that will annoy him because having won that all-important fifth frame, Williams just struggling a little bit. He'll be very frustrated
59.
that an error of his own making has given Williams the chance to rediscover his fluency.
So just the red needed.
66.
Could have been easier. Well, incredible.
68.
Well, it's 3 snookers needed, so Williams should have done enough, but he'll be annoyed to have missed the black for sure.
Yes, he could have been getting on with the next frame while his arm was still going. And now has to wait.
Don't underestimate how much this title would mean to Williams. He may play it cool, but he hasn't won a ranking event since 2011. He would love to get his hands on some more silverware again. It's overdue. Won the 6 reds, of course, in Bangkok earlier this year. But to win big again at ranking level in his 43rd year would mean a lot to him. I know he's very proud of his longevity in the game. And of course, all of that brings pressure.
left a half chance. Red to the baulk corner. Elliot couldn't play the cue ball down the table because that red on the left side cushion was a big pocket. A chance to bring that red off that cushion now. Try and get the cue ball in behind the pink. It's close.
It's a tall order for Slessor. 3-4 point snookers needed to turn this around.
One. Six. Seven.
Well, now it's going to be 4 snookers. Taking the blue. Just sat there patiently waiting.
Three snookers to tie now then. It's not getting any easier for Slessor.
It's a bit of luck here. And got it. Well, I was with him there. Remove that red from near the brown. Well, looks good. Four snookers to win. 3 to tie. And that'll do nicely.
Mark Williams, 1. Yep, frame conceded.
So it was the poor safety from Elliot Slessor, which was really the costly moment for him in this frame. That launched a break of 68 from Mark Williams, which proved to be enough to move 2 clear again at 4-2. Mark Williams edging his way towards yet another ranking final as he pursues his 19th ranking title. A break of 68, putting him 4-2 in front. He's not been quite the same player since the interval, but he was helped out by a safety error from Elliot Slessor in the previous frame, just after he'd managed to close the gap to 1 in that scrappy 5th frame.
Thank you. Frame 7. Mark Williams to break.
Yeah, but he did win the frame at one visit.
And another bad break off, this time from Williams. And he's lucky.
Yes, very fortunate.
Touching ball.
Oh, touching ball call. He had to look at it. Elliot's not going to complain though. He can play away from the red now. Hide that red over in the middle.
The snooker continues to come thick and fast here on Eurosport and on Quest. We're on Eurosport 1 at 1 o'clock a week today for the start of the UK Championship. What a tournament that promises to be. Mark Selby, of course, defending the title he won in that brilliant final against Ronnie O'Sullivan 12 months ago as Williams gets back in again.
Yeah, and from a poor safety from Slessor, it's got to be said. He had a touching ball. And I can't believe that he's left the red on.
8.
thanks to a poor positional shot from Mark Williams from black to red. The break ends at 8. Well, I think he hit the wrong cushion there, Elliot. I think he was playing to hit the left side cushion, come back behind the black. Got a little bit too much stun into the cue ball. How can Mark Williams be tempted by this red? He could. And he's got it. That's a great shot. But again, it's a poor safety from Elliot Slessor. That's an excellent pot, but shouldn't have had the chance, really. Didn't get that cue ball out of baulk. So unless he takes the difficult brown, it's just a snooker. But the reds are spread. There's no reds near a cushion, so this is not straightforward for Elliot. Well, he's nodding his head because it's very difficult to lay the cue ball somewhere where he's not going to leave a red on. He's looking at playing up to this red by the right side cushion, but if he misses it, it leaves the red to the middle. He's banking on hitting this red, but he's missed it, left it to the middle.
Mark Williams, 4.
Doesn't have to play it. Oh, this is tough. That's a great shot. Is he on the black? He is. He was in a lot of trouble there, Elliot Slessor. And he's in Mark Williams' hands now. Oh, he's missed it.
Yeah, it was awkward queuing. And he knew if he got that, he was looking at 5-2.
As it is, it could be 5-3, at 4-3. And this is a great chance for Elliot Slessor. He was up out of his chair like a racehorse there. Pink's going to be tied up after he pots it here, so wants to get the black back on its spot as soon as possible. So needs to leave an angle on this red to be able to stun across for the black. Nothing for being straight on the red here.
7.
Just enough. Would have liked the cue ball to have been on the cushion, but it's okay, even though he's got the long stuff out. But the next red not straightforward, so he might play into the reds. Always interesting to see how the player plays the position. Some players will go into that gap between red and pink. And they'll be happy with that.
$15. $16.
No need to play the cannon to the pink. Just drop it in. Choice of reds.
$23.
Mark Williams, well, he'll be disappointed. He was hampered, but still fancied him strongly for the black.
But it's only going to matter if Slessor can take this opportunity, really make it count. One significant break so far from the world number 82.
31.
70 to win the third frame. Won the scrappy fifth as well.
Now he could play the cannon to the pink this time round. Or the two reds. Or could even play for that red near the left side cushion. He's got lots of shots he can play here. Could even play for the red over the right side of the table, but the choice is his. Which one will he choose? Played the cannon to the two reds, but it didn't work out as well as he intended. Maybe he played the cannon to the pink, which would have left him on choice of two reds to the right corner. Just got a bit too much screw into the cue ball. This is missable. And he's missed it. Has he got away with it?
39.
Well, it was the shot previously when he missed the cannon to the pink.
Yeah, 39 isn't going to get it done, is it? In a semi-final against Mark Williams.
Well, he knows it's down to him now. This is the red that Elliot missed. Gave it every chance of going in by playing it to the far angle. Well, that was a bit tentative. Played for the red to the middle. Not straight on it.
No.
Overscrewed it. Wanted to be coming down towards the black.
11.
I'm going to have to play for the brown or yellow again.
There's no doubt he has looked edgier since the mid-session interval. I think it just underlines what this means to him.
Sometimes you're not even thinking of the next shot. You're just thinking, Why did I hit that too hard? And having a real argument with yourself. Because how do you hit it softer? Easy enough to come down to the black where the reds are. Now he has to think about how to get to the reds off of the next colour. It's easy enough to get to the colour, but to get to the next red from the colour is a bit more difficult. Well, I think he played the cannon to the pink, but if it comes past it, wow, a fraction, and I mean a fraction. Can't pot it. A fraction further, he was on the red and probably would have won the frame.
14.
As it is, it's a let-off for Elliot Slessor. Just 8 points in the game.
And another giant frame. The difference between 5-2 and 4-3 is huge.
I think I'd have been tempted to push that red nearest the right cushion, closer to the cushion there. If that goes in, and it has done, it gives Williams the advantage. Snooker in behind the blue, looks favourite. Missed it. I'm a bit disappointed with that one. Similar type of shot to what Williams just had. Can't quite see enough of that, so maybe drop the cue ball in behind the black. Well, this could be a little half chance for Mark Williams. Doesn't have to go for it. Could play it full ball. Can he be tempted? Oh, you bet he can. Great pot. Got hold of it too much, though. Look where the cue ball is.
And grimaces in frustration. It was a terrific pot, but no position to go with it. Got
hold of it too well, didn't he? and knew where the cue ball was going to finish. So just a little snooker in behind the black.
Just 8 points between them.
Elliot Slessor, 1.
And cut off the easy cushion, the left side. A little bit more difficult at this side. The brown could be in the way. No, he couldn't have hit that any better. That's a great escape. Had to swerve round the black to hit the correct spot on the cushion. And half covered the red. And another chance for Mark Williams, although it's a thin cut, this doesn't have to go for it. Anxious looks there from Williams to see if he's left the red on. And it's hard to tell from this angle. Well, he obviously thought he could get it. Push the yellow safe.
Well, applause, but can Slessor get to this red to pot it?
He certainly can. But it was still a tough pot. And that is a little unfortunate to leave the red on. But the yellow is still safe.
It's hard to see Elliot Slessor winning the semi-final if he doesn't win this frame.
Thank you. 1.
Now, he could play for the double on the yellow. He could try and come across the table and knock it out. Looking at the double. Needs to be just below the blue spot, the cue ball. And that's what he's played for, the double. Has he just come a little too far?
8.
Always some risk involved with the double, because if you miss it, you're trusting to luck where the object ball ends up. He has missed it.
Where's it going to finish? Where is it going to finish?
Mark Williams, 8.
Now, can he cut it? I think he can, you know.
It's mighty thin.
It is.
It's all got rather edgy, hasn't it?
Well, he wasn't on the green either, Mark Williams. Oh, he could have done without the kiss.
True.
The cue ball would have been going back down the table for the green. Very unfortunate.
How do you fancy this green with the brown and blue waiting?
Yeah.
Well, you could say to yourself, I'm in the semi-final. If this green goes in, I've got every chance of winning this match. Will I get another chance? If he goes for it, he's not forced to leave it. But if he gets it, he'll win this frame. Hard to say which one to take.
It's a big moment.
He chose the positive shot, and he's going to be leaving the green on.
Well, it was surely worth taking on, because if he got it, he was a near certainty to close the gap to one frame.
3.
Mark Williams needs the pink. And that couldn't have landed any worse. Hampered. Well, maybe not.
Seven.
He's the wrong side of the blue. Not going to be easy to get to the pink from there. Doesn't want to leave the pink down the cushion. Got to be careful of the middle pocket.
12.
Well, this is a tough one. Just to drop the pink in, he only needs the pink.
It's one of those that is far more difficult than it appears on your TV screens. Williams knows it.
10 in the game. And the reason he looked at the scoreboard is that he knew that he only needs the pink. But if he gets the snooker, that could make a difference. 16 in the game if he gets the snooker. Well, this is tough. Played the snooker.
Mark Williams, 12.
And he's got it. He played both. Played the pink. Also played the snooker. And that's why he looked at the scoreboard earlier.
Yeah, Slessor had to hit that, otherwise he'd have needed one.
He's hit it well. And on that type of shot, that's what you always play, the cue ball to the baulk cushion. And that way, if you do leave the pink on, it makes it difficult. Played it at a good pace. Oh, the double kiss, the dreaded double kiss.
Well, is this the pivotal frame of this semi-final? It certainly feels that way. It was an edgy, nervy affair. Both players suffering a little. But Mark Williams, crucially, has managed to pinch it on the pink. And instead of 4-3, he now leads by 5 frames to 2. Just one away from a place in the final. Feeling the tension without any shadow of a doubt. But Mark Williams eventually took it on the pink.
Thank you. Frame 8. Elliot Slessor to
After Elliot Slessor had a chance on a tough green to close it to just a single frame. Now he's got a huge mountain to climb. At 5-2 down, he's got to win the remaining 4.
Yes, and his break-offs, he's not getting enough side or catching the red thick enough to get the cue ball in behind the yellow. But didn't leave anything on. How often has he got that cue ball close to the cushion? Mark Williams makes it so much more difficult. You can catch the reds thick like that. Push one over that left corner, but fortunately it's run close to the cushion. But there is a red that will clip into that corner. It's a tough one. Well, caught it just a little bit too thick, and that's why the cue ball stayed in the balk area. And this is tough, just to roll up to the green.
Mark Williams, 1.
He's taking this on. Oh, how close was that?
I thought he thought it was in there. He was moving round, ready for his colour.
It was very, very close, this. Look how close that is. And the white was close also. Did well to get that cue ball there from where he was. Excellent safety, Elliot. Oh, caught it too thin. Better too thin than too thick. Big shot this for Elliot Slessor. This has to go in. Or he could have been out of the tournament. That was a great pressure shot, that, from Elliot Slessor.
Yes, and he's got him first a few times today. What he hasn't been able to do is score regularly in a heavy way.
Well, you called it.
Elliot Slessor.
Well, fortunately, the black has come down onto that right side cushion, which has stopped the easy pot. The red to the left corner is a lot more difficult. He could still play the red onto the black, onto the red. The black would be over the pocket. Just can't afford to miss those. Well, this is what he's playing. Well, that's developed the black, and he's nicely on the blue. A little shorter pace.
6.
Played for the red into the right centre, and hit it by 3 or 4 inches. Well, this is, again, very tough, this one. I think the red to the middle is easier than this.
Mark Williams, 6.
Now, any damage done? Does the red go to the middle? Yep, it does. Just needs to drop it in for the black. Nicely played. Nicely on the black. Little cannon to the 2 reds, and he should be in business.
Eight. Nine.
Yeah, he can just see it. Obviously, he didn't want to be straight on the black, but he's delighted that he can see it. Well, this isn't straightforward either, because the cue ball looks to be going into the red. You may have to try and play this with a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball to try and avoid that red. Check back for the black. If he plays it with stun or screw, every chance of catching the reds.
$70.
Struck that one well for choice of reds.
$25. $30. $31.
Oh, he's under-hit it by a long way. That was very tentative, that shot. He played the correct shot in playing for these two reds because it opens them up. £30 the difference. Overcut it, and he's left it.
36.
So, chance for Mark Williams again. He's been in once. Didn't get position off the blue. And did well to hold for the black from there. Now, can he just drop the black in? Drift past those two reds. Our right-handed player may take that red on down the cushion.
8. $9.
Can he give these two reds a nudge? He'd push one towards that right corner if he could. Oh, maybe he couldn't hit them.
16. 17.
Left an angle just to drop the black in and finish up behind that red on the left side of the table. Now, if he can finish high on the black,
24.
so he could play the cannon to those two reds. Well, it was only the speed. Now, as he got the angle, push the red towards the corner. Nicely done. And that black has took him into the lead.
$33.
Well, this is tough, this red. But he's got the insurance of that red being safe on the cushion, which Elliot's going to need. Nicely done. That wasn't easy at all. Now, what kind of an angle has it got on the black? That looks good enough. Not hard enough, though. Well, now, would you take this on?
48.
Nothing safe.
I don't think you should take it on, to tell you the truth. Not with the ball not being safe, but he's taking it on. And he's got it. What a great shot from Mark Williams. Trying to win the match.
And unlucky to see the cue ball land close to the cushion.
Well, he's got a natural angle on the blue, but the pink's in a bad position. Could finish up snookered, so he's going to have to play this a little short. Yeah, he had to play it like that. Didn't want to risk the snooker. So 24 points the difference, just needs 54. The yellow. But as Philip said, nothing's safe. So big shot this. Now, where's it going to finish?
Mark Williams, 54.
Well, looks like the yellow is possible, but very difficult to get to the green from there. But we've seen the cue power of this young man.
Last chance saloon for Elliot. 24 behind, 27 left.
Played it with topspin. I thought it was going to screw it back, but it's finished up lovely.
A very handy second prize.
Well, he'll be trying to get behind the yellow here, send it down the table. Like that. And he couldn't have played it any better, could he? Excellent shot. The crowd really loving this. As we are. And again, so close. Now, was that a good kiss or a bad kiss? Just the yellow needed. It wasn't a good kiss. He's in the final. Barring snookers, he's in the final.
Well, he's not in the final just yet.
How did that not drop?
The crowd thought it was in. 23 the difference, 22 remaining, one snooker required. Is there another twist?
Well, he really doesn't need to pot the brown. That makes it a lot more difficult. But it's not in a good position, the cue ball, to play the snooker or play the safety.
Elliot Slessor, 3.
He'll be happy with that. And the brown down towards the black. Have played it that way, but it's good. This is close. This is close. And not easy, this.
And no colour to come to his rescue either. Everything out in the open.
Yeah, he's got to think where the cue ball's going to land if he misses it.
Bow.
So, Elliot Slessor can now win, and he's left the brown on. And that's what I was saying about where the cue ball should land if he does miss it.
What a chance for a steal to keep the match alive.
He's missed it.
Oh, no, Elliot. That is calamity.
That's just nerves, I'm afraid. He's entitled to them.
So this brown for Mark Williams to surely seal the deal. Well, it's been a great week for Elliot Slessor. He's picked up a cheque for £20,000, more than double what he earned in the whole of last season. A memorable win for him as well over Ronnie O'Sullivan. But it's Mark Williams' day. One of the all-time greats now with a chance for a 19th ranking title. He's through to the Northern Ireland Open final by 6 frames to 2. It got a bit nervy, but he got over the line in the end.